This is the Tesla 1 month overview reading for the month of December 2023. It's currently October 20th, 2023, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tesla at the time of this reading closed today at $211.99 USD, and in the extended hours that's 212.21. The shuffle video that we're going to play for you here in the corner of the screen was created on October 8th, 2023 at 10 p.m. Eastern time. This is the shuffle video for the December reading. Behavior around the overall theme, I should say, and behavior for the month of December. We have a notable reversal that's going to stand out on a year-to-date kind of scale. An important peak or crest, but what's really important is the significant decline. The Universe card is the biggest decline card out of the deck, so we should see a pretty significant decline off of what is very likely an important peak. When we look at it from the 1 year standpoint, which by the way was pretty accurate, if you give it 2 weeks wiggle room, we had a high here, a high here, and a high here. So we had a high in June, a high on the cusp of August, September, and a high on the cusp of October, November. And you can see we had a high here in July, we had a high here in September, and then another high here in October. So pretty accurate. And with that said, it looks like we have, it's very likely that we have a lowest low here. And that the decline started here in September. I've noticed on a lot of 2023 readings that there's a lowest low indication here towards the low of September, but in some cases it appears like it starts there and continues onward into December, where we have an even lower price level. And I think that very well might be the case here with Tesla. And the reason being is we have a couple of cross-reading congruencies. When we look at the 1 month, we've got the Ace of Discs congruency with the Princess of Discs, in my opinion, and then the low correlator card for December's Tesla is the Truce card, and the Truce card is the low correlator card for the 2023 reading as well. So there's very strong indications of a lowest low here. Behavior around the highest high, we have a lot of price change involved in the highest high. Should be kind of like jagged, erratic behavior, but in a very clear direction. And usually a lot of price change is covered when you see the Prince of Swords, and then behavior around the low. That Truce card, an important technical price level on a multi-day scale, will be highlighted around the low. Very likely it's the lowest low, and we should see volume kind of like volume or volatility kind of flatten out around the price around that low. It's also very likely that we go from a highest high into a lowest low. There could be a highest high at on the cusp of November, December, right? There could be a highest high there on the cusp of November, December, and then we would go back into a low. And the Fortune card gives me more indication of that being a possibility as well. Well, the Fortune card in some cases, when it's in a prominent position like that, indicates a highest high or a significant high. So I think we probably have that taking place here with the Ace. I think probably the Ace of Swords here on the 8th. And before we get into the overall chart, or the day-by-day chart behavior and the timing of the highs and the lows and the best trade opportunities, let's make sure everybody's aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill and make the world a better place. And we do that on our website, tarotfortraders.com, under the resources tab, where we ask that you follow the rule of karma. Every profitable trade utilizing this information on our channel, you should donate 5% of the profits forward to one of these charities, effectively creating abundance mentality in your own mind and transmuting the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. And then 5% of the profit should go back to the channel. Again, that's abundance mentality, gratitude mentality. That's what helps support the channel and allows us to put out the content that we do. And what's more important, guys, is that the universe has this channel protected. Anybody that utilizes this information for personal gain alone will not be able to do so for long. So you have the opportunity to do the right thing, but if you don't do the right thing, you're going to run out of opportunities to do anything with this information real fast. And that's not a threat from me, guys. That's me explaining how the universe works with this channel. There's 90% left over when you follow that rule of karma. Make sure to spend that out of love. That keeps your conscience clear. Those three components, abundance mind, gratitude mentality, clear conscience, they're necessary components to manifest wealth properly. So make sure to do that. The universe will consider you an angel investor for following those rules, and you'll get it back tenfold through this channel, my friends. All right, so on the first, we have, it's a pretty mixed day. There's like a prominent move higher through key resistance on a multi-day scale, and then we stay above it briefly and break back down through that same price level with a full retracement shortly thereafter. But I think we probably have a decline first, then a prominent move higher, a prominent move lower, and then out of that prominent move lower, we have probably a gap up over the weekend into the 4th, and there's a peak there that we have a significant decline off of, standing out on a one-day chart and probably a multi-day chart as well. 2 local bottoms, so on a one-day chart for the 4th, we should see 2 lows. And then on the 5th, you know what, it may be that we rally, either we gap up here on the 4th and decline, or there's a rally at least part of the 4th into a high here on the 4th, 5th. The other possibility is we decline on the 4th from a peak or crest, and then we gap up to a high, but I think probably there's some sort of rally to the peak, and then we decline pretty notably to a trough, or lowest low around the 6th. On the 6th, there's a crest that we sell off from down to and through support. We do a U-shaped reversal below support, come back and reuse it as support, and then out of the lowest low indication there on the 6th, there's a significant move higher that will really stand out on a multi-day scale, taking us into bullish price swings, or I should say probably bullish price swings on the 7th. A lot of price change on the 8th and an important technical price level acting as resistance that we poke through momentarily about midday, creating an important peak, possibly a highest high there. It's one of the locations where we most likely have a highest high. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you could play the first. So what we have is a decline in the morning, then a prominent move higher, full retracement, and then out of the close of the 1st and into the 4th, there should be a rally. What I want to do is, if I can get in the midst of that decline to the downside, no, matter of fact, I want to see that decline, then that prominent move higher, and then the full retracement. That full retracement would be my entry point for a long position, which I would then hold. If I could get out of it on the 4th, great. If I can't, then on the 5th at that highest high. And then the other way to play that is at that prominent peak. If you can time it well, it shouldn't be easy to do, but there will be a prominent move higher and then a full retracement. So that peak on the 1st would also be an opportunity to open up a short position to close in the midst of that lowest low there on the 6th. So pretty wild stuff going on there. And then it goes into price swings on the 7th, and then the Ace of Swords. In a lot of cases, there's a lot of price swings in the Ace of Swords too, or it could just be a ton of price movement in one direction. But the thing about Ace of Swords is the chart behavior and the amount of price change allow for you to trade both directions, not at the exact same time, one leg at a time. So my sense is that what we probably see is a rally early in the day on the 8th into a highest high or a very prominent high midday on the 8th. It'll be a key technical resistance level standing out on a multi-day scale. We'll poke through it temporarily, just momentarily, and then I think we probably decline pretty notably from there into the end of the day. So what you would do is you would open up a long position in the morning if we open up at a trough, close it midday at a high, open up a short position at the high, and then I would look to close that short position. Well, I'd open up a partial short position at that high, and then on the 11th, I would open up an additional piece of that short position at another prominent peak or crest. If we open lower on the 11th, I'd close the short position. If we have that peak or crest early in the day, I'd add to the short position, and I'd look to close it on the 12th. If not the 12th, I might add to it a little bit more on the 14th with this prominent move higher. Well, first on the 12th, we'll have a move higher that'll stand on a multi-day scale, and we'll rotate sideways, successfully turning resistance into support. And then the following day, in a period of volatility, there should be a breakout to what's very likely the last place where we most likely have a highest high. You could probably, when we decline back down on the 8th, if we come back to roughly the same price level that we started the day at, I would say you could open up another long position there to close in the morning on the 11th at a peak or crest. And we're going to get into the remainder of the chart behavior on a day-by-day basis, as well as the timing of the remaining highs and lows for the month. There's most likely a lowest low thus far there on the 6th, and there's most likely a lowest low here on the 11th as well. There's lower lows, and I'll get into that in the paid version, my friends. But before we go any further, let's take a look and see how we're doing for October thus far. So we had a high on the 4th, we had another high on the 11th, we had the 11th, 12th, so boom, we nailed those highs, guys, the 4th and the 11th, and then we go into lowest lows. On the 17th, we're at a lowest low, and then on the 18th, we're at a lowest low, and then on the 19th, the lowest low, and then on the 20th. I mean, guys, this is like 100% accurate. We did this reading, the October shuffle file was created August 1st at 2000 or at 1:52 p.m. Eastern time, guys. That's how far ahead we did it. Anybody who had the paid version made a lot of money with this decline. They saw it coming from as early as August and knew what they were going to do about it. So if you're interested in the paid version, guys, what you get in the paid version, not only do we complete the monthly, but we also talk about relevant trades from a multi-year standpoint, or from a one-year standpoint, from a multi-year standpoint. And if there's any price levels extrapolated from the information, which sometimes happens, that's in the paid version as well, guys. It's the best way to support the channel aside from the rule of karma. You should really be following the rule of karma and whatever type of other support as well. And you do that type of support here. We know the names of everybody that goes ahead and follows, that subscribes for a monthly subscription, because they're the core foundation of our support. Monthly subscription right here. Click here to subscribe. You can subscribe to any individual ticker or crypto symbol that you see here, or you could subscribe to all the paid version for just a little bit more. The all paid version also includes all of Google, the paid Google version and the paid Amazon version, and any one-offs that come off. So, a lot of value there, guys. Very underpriced. We have like roughly a 98% average accuracy if you don't already know that. So definitely worth it. And if you can't afford that, guys, trade off of the first few trades. Trade responsibly for the first week of the month, and then you should have enough money to continue onward. Quid pro quo, my friend. With that said, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Super important to follow that if you want to keep that flow of abundance through the channel running freely. And I'll see you guys on the next one.